Hey everybody, how are we doing tonight? Sorry for the long wait in getting started, just troubleshooting some things on my end. You're watching 949 Sim Racing Community. We're getting ready for round 1 of Season 8, the 949 GT Sprint Series at Silverstone. Let's go ahead and get switched over real quick into the racing action. Already in the mix here. What's up, Carbon? How are you doing? Hope you're having a good night, man. Let me take a look at the broadcast data. Pit wall should be up and running. Looks like we've got 28 drivers loaded into the session right now. I really hope we get more than that because we had 49 registered. Yeah, just looking right now, hoping that there aren't any technical difficulties there that's causing us to not have... Because we got... Let me double check real quick at... Coasty had a nice little write-up with the times that everything is going to launch and go live. So the server's live right now. We're loaded in right now. They're doing free practice. Free practice started at 6:30. Cars are driving around on track right now. Mandatory drivers briefing in about 8 minutes, and then quali begins at 7:05 with the race starting at 7:26 p.m. There should be 49 drivers registered for round 1. Silverstone was the track that was picked. Season 8, dealer's choice. That's the format. At the end of every race, we put up a poll with 3 entries, and the drivers are going to pick from those, from the 3 tracks listed, and then that will set the next round up in the 949 GT Sprint Series for Season 8. So the dealer's choice mechanic, drivers get to pick the track. Now the conditions and the format, those are fixed. You can find that information if you go to the 949 .racing website, the GT3 Sprint Series page. You can do !site. That should get you to the link. The calendar, the dates, the format, the weather, and times are all listed there. But you'll notice that for rounds 2 and beyond, the tracks are marked question mark because they haven't been selected yet. Chris Pennycook losing it at, it looked like that was Cops back in the pits for a quick setup change. Let's look around and see who else is on track doing laps right now, because we got a little bit of time still left before we go into the driver's briefing. Curtis Greco in the 15 Lexus, pulling off to the side. He's going to get out of the way. There's Corey Appleby in the Tag Heuer Porsche Racing 911, car 23. So the grid is going to have 49 cars on it, at least 49 registered, and we do have the categories set. Anybody who's a member of the 949 community on simracing.gp, you can find that information now. In fact, I should probably pull it up so you guys can see kind of what the divisions look like while when we go into the driver's briefing. I'll get that teed up real quick. Switch over to participants. There we go. All right. Just doing a little bit of work on my end, getting some more stuff set up while we are watching free practice. Joseph Kostovich in the 949 Sim Racing McLaren car 240. He's doing his thing out on track. Looks like I got my camera fixed. I'll go ahead and pull that up now. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a good night. Kyle Sisko in the Turn 1 SimSport Lexus on track. Oh, we got Will Campbell in the Sky High Beaver Motorsport McLaren. He's going to hang out over to the left. Looks like that's Chris Pennycook coming back out of the pits for another shot at some free practice laps. I always get the hiccups, man. It's terrible. It's a curse. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. This is the 949 GT Sprint Series Season 8, Round 1 at Silverstone. We are in free practice right now. We're about to hit the driver's briefing in about 5 minutes. I want to thank everyone for coming to visit us again. A couple quick reminders. So if you are wanting to take up a reserve driver slot, when reserve slot roles show up, they are first come, first serve. So if you're interested in that, be sure and check out the 949 GT Sprint Series site, 949.racing. Registration is still open for reserve drivers. Trying to think of what else. Exclamation point Enduro in chat if you're interested in the 2.4 hour endurance series that we're doing with Trackalicious. So the Trackalicious 949 Winter Endurance Championship. Round 2 was this past weekend. We got round 3 coming up in March. I believe it's March 12th at Nürburgring, which will be a lot of fun. So be sure and check that out. Also, real quick, shout out to the partners. Exclamation point coach and chat for the Discord link to Cardo Racing School, cardoracing.com. Cardo Huesca is a pretty cool dude. He's got some good coaching experience if you're looking for some private coaching or just a cool Discord to go hang out in. Exclamation point coach and chat. And exclamation point TSR for Trackalicious Sim Racing. I believe the boys have a GT4 race tonight, Carbon. Is that true? If so, be sure and check out the information related to that in their Discord. On board with Shane Reeves in the 950 car for 949 UK. Just watching him going into the Vale chicane right now. Real quick before they go into driver's briefing, let's see if we can find somebody who's on a hot lap. Or at least about to start a hot lap. Let's look. Anybody close? Beachley's close. So let's shut off the autopilot. See if Beachley's going to do a lap or not. Going into left field right now. And here he goes. Mr. Justin Beachley from Trackalicious. He's in the Beach GT Aston Martin, taking a trip around Silverstone. Into Cops, the infamous Cops corner. Now blasting down a quick straightaway towards Maggots and Beckett's. Riding the curb pretty aggressively. Don't know if that invalidated his lap or what. Trying to work it through the corners. Your second last broadcast tonight, Pepe Hands. I'm sorry to hear that, Shy Guy. But dude, man, you did a lot of good development in the booth, man, so I hope to see you in there again sometime soon. Into Stowe Corner now, Justin Beachley. He's in car 18. On approach to the Vale chicane. Very slow complex. Not the slowest, though. He's got to try and maximize his exit as he gets set up for this quick blast down towards Abbey. That's a wide line. Not sure if Justin's just going through the motions for the sake of the broadcast. If so, he's a legend. Into Abbey. Now through Village and the Loop. Taking the Village hairpin and then immediately followed by the Loop hairpin. He's got to shove it out wide as he sets up for the left-hander at Antry. And then down the Hamilton straight now. It's got to be getting about driver briefing time. Into Brooklands. Cuts it over to the left. Now setting up for the right-hand, long sweeping right-hand corner at Luffield. Low-speed corner. Punches it out wide, and now he's going to make this quick right-hander through Woodcott. And down the GT straightaway and finish his lap. A 2-minute .080. Definitely had a cut in there, though. He can take another shot at it and see how he can do to improve his time. Brandon Meyer, turn 1. Made the change over to the M4. That's a pretty looking M4 too, by the way. Sweaty Palms, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Thanks for joining us. You're watching 949 Sim Racing Community, getting ready for round 8, Silverstone. All right, looks like people are going to the pits, probably getting set up for that driver briefing. Let me look real quick at the list right now, because I still only see 38 cars in here, which has me a little concerned. I am not sure what's happening here. All right. Well, we'll keep it going. We'll keep the broadcast going. Hoping other people can get in before the race starts. Let's go ahead and get switched over to the... We'll turn up the music a little bit while we go through our part, because the drivers should be going through the briefing right about now. Let me check real quick. I think this should pull up what we're looking for. All right, so there's your Division 4 runners right now. So we got Brad Severs, part of the tour crew over here. He's in the McLaren 720. So we got a few McLaren 720s in Division 4. Brad Severs, Jay Rowley, James Brown. Daniel Reyes is the only M4, looks like, in Division 4, which is kind of interesting. Tyler Kozlakis running the 911 this season, the 991 Mark II. Marcus Ice, his first time racing with us in the 949 GT Sprint Series. He's in the Aston Martin. Kyle Sisko in the Lexus for Turn 1. Justin Beachley, who we saw earlier, he's in the Aston Martin. JQ running the Lexus this season. That's pretty interesting. Corey Appleby in the Tag Heuer Porsche. Brett Kolb in the Vodafone McLaren. And Jose Guzman, who I believe is in racing for Arcane now in the NSX. That's your Division 3 runner, or Division 4 runners. Division 3, we got a stacked field here. We got Patty McNickle in the Lamborghini Gallardo. Brevin Yesk, he's in the 720S again this season. Stephen Bateman, Apaches in the Huracan. Paula Brady with Scrubs Go Racing's in the Audi R8. Will Bruner, he's running the Mercedes AMG Evo this season. Will Campbell, trying to remember what team Will is on. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. Kind of interested. Give me 1 second. Sorry, folks. I should remember the name. Sorry. Oh, he's in Sky High. Okay, so he's running the Maka for Sky High. Chemo sits in the M4 for Crazy Rabbits. Justin Moffitt's in the Bentley again this season. Cole Gress in the 911. Carlos Guzman in the Arcane NSX. Shane Martin's in the 720 again this season. Kenny Smith's in the 720 this season. And Curtis Greco's running a Lexus. Division 2, Shane Reeves getting the promotion after finishing top of Division 3 last season. Kevin Blanchett, quick boy in the Lexus this season for Sky High. Brandon Meyer for Turn 1. We've got Adam State in the Scrubs Go Racing Evo. Sam Ramsbottom for Karimba Bimba in the 720S. Dan Tez in the Turn 1 reaction phase M4. Gingy, he's racing for Crazy Rabbits again in the 911. Leo Monroe's running the Fezza again this season for PCS. And I believe his teammate, same division, Peter Greaves in the 720S. Homeschool Racer on Twitch if you want to go follow him. Luciano Yads for Madhouse. He's in the Aston Martin Vantage V8. Chris Pennycook in the 911. Matt Menning, he's in the Aston Martin for SGR, I think, as well. And John Ezra in the Porsche 911 for Division 2. Division 1, Chris McNickle, Scrubs Go Racing in the Audi. We got Pete Hutchings with ProtoCharge. He's in, it says he's in the Aston Martin this season, which is a big change. I don't think I've ever seen Hutch formally compete in an Aston Martin. Matt Paremba with 949 in the M4. Vulcans in the Vulcan sim racing community, Porsche 911. Luke Southall for ProtoCharge is running the Lexus this season, so the champ showing up in the Lexus. I'm looking forward to seeing that on track. Sean Piner in the 911 for Crazy Rabbits. Nick Gonzalez in the Bentley for ProtoCharge. We got Zach Patterson for ProtoCharge in the NSX. Josh McKean with ProtoCharge in the Aston Martin. And then for 949, we got Ed Kerstetter and Joseph Kostovich, and the lone Madhouse entry in Division 1 this season, Felix Hacker in the M4. So that's your field. Free practice is still running. Not sure if Curtis Greco understands that. I don't know if the driver briefing is going on and Curtis just doesn't understand it's happening. Not sure. Yeah, no, Hutch not in the Mercedes. That is weird. How's it going, Eric? Trackalicious Eric joining us. Exclamation point TSR in chat. Trackalicious guys are a bunch of good dudes. They got the triple header at Suzuka. Yep, no Godzilla, believe it or not. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Let's switched over to the chat screen and hang out for a bit. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming to join us. Banshee subscribing with Prime. Thank you so much, Banshee. Really appreciate it. Oh, you notified Race Control about him? I got you. I wonder if he has chat turned off in game. That might be the reason. So it looks like we got 42 in lobby right now. Getting set up for the race. Banshee Man, I want to thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate it. Everyone at 949 appreciates it. Hope you guys are all ready for a fun race. First one of the season. Silverstone. Format today is going to be the 1 hour sprint, our bread and butter. 18 degrees is the weather forecast on track. Race start time will be 6 p.m. in game. Doesn't look like there is a time multiplier. We also have the championships making a return back in 949, and I'm super excited to see that. Exclamation point site and chat if you're looking for the 949 GT Sprint Series page. The team's championship is listed below the season calendar, and we've got 20 teams signed up, which I'm super, super happy about. We got Arcane Racing, Crazy Rabbits has got a couple of entries. Firelight Esports jumping into the mix for the first time. 949's got 3 entries. Peppa's Boat, that's a first time. And then we've got the ProtoCharge crew. We've got Alpha, Honda, Omega, and Pete Squared. The Ravens Reptiles SGR entry, RG Racing, SGR's Eeyore and the Tigers, SGR and Chum Motorsports, Sky High Beaver Motorsports, Tag Heuer Porsche Racing, Turn 1 NA Pro, and Wet Bandit Racing are the teams this season. Just taking a peek around right now. I think we're about to get there in terms of the race. Not sure if Curtis got the shove or not. I don't see him in chat anymore. Weird. Looks like 41 cars in chat now, or in lobby now, so. Just waiting for the driver's briefing to come to an end. Carbon, thanks for hanging out. Hey, Dad, how are you doing? Nathaniel Tragic joining us. World Rally Family, exclamation point. Let's do, well, actually, I don't know if I actually have, I need to put World Rally Family. I'd normally do the shout out for you, Nate. I need to actually add a chat command for that. Be sure and check out Nathaniel Tragic, the World Rally Family. They're a good, positive community to go watch. Nate does a lot of rally racing and and you've been getting into Automobilista too, as well. Like I said, very positive community, positive environment. Definitely don't bother with it. It's trash. It's not trash, dude. I love the music. I love the chill atmosphere. Getting to watch you usually rolling around in Dirt 2. Anytime I can see people really enjoying the exploits of Dirt 2 and the Escort Mark II, warms the inner workings of my heart. I think we're still waiting. Find out. When the session is going to move forward. You're just here for the drive? Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Life lessons and all. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so you guys are about to get... we're about to get strapped in for the round 1 offering of the 949 GT Sprint Series Season 8 Dealer's Choice. Round 1 poll took place. The choices were Suzuka, Barcelona, and Silverstone. Silverstone was the winner. I should actually check and see what the final vote count was. I'm not sure if I've taken a peek at that in a minute. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, so... no, not that Silverstone. So... The British Silverstone. So Silverstone won the poll. The race is going to happen today. After the race is over, we're going to offer up 3 tracks for round 2, and the drivers are going to get to pick from that. Now, the way it works with Dealer's Choice this season, the calendar is split up into 8 rounds. The day of the race, the in-game time, the weather, and the format are all fixed. But the drivers, they get to pick what track from a poll of 3. So actually, I can show you guys kind of what I'm talking about right here. So if I actually pull up the GT Sprint Series right now, if I actually pull up the GT Sprint Series website, as you can see, Silverstone is already filled out on the calendar, but the rest of the calendar entries are question marks. We do have different formats this season. We are bringing back Pit Precision. We're actually running, now that I look at the calendar, we're running all of our formats. We're running Pit Precision, Endurance, Doubleheader, and Race Weekend all in one season alongside the 1-hour sprints. It's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to see you guys at more of the rounds this season. So, yeah. Looks like the drivers are getting ready to head out on track. Let's go ahead and get that switch back over. Get you guys a little bit of extra time with the cars on track. What's up, Mr. Blaine Hall? How are you doing? How's your hand doing? Gingy, how are you doing tonight? Will Bruner in the Firelight Esports entry. Mercedes Evo. Sorry to hear that, man. I'm doing pretty good, man. Just hanging out, getting ready for the race. Looking at the field right now, it looks like we've got 47 cars in grid, which is pretty good. Signed up for the SRO America qualifiers. Fantastic. What car? You doing the Audi? Penalties cleared for car 15 from race control. Don't know if I'll make it, but I'll give it a whirl. Mom of Cap, how's it going? trying the Audi and the Porsche. Sounds like a plan. So free practice has got a little bit of time before the drivers go into the qualifying session. We're getting a little bit of a quick look at what it looks like on track. Let's switch these cameras around. Checking in with John Ezra. John Ezra in Division 3 in the Porsche. How long is the wait list? I believe we're over 60 people registered, 62 registered, but the way that it works, Blaine, is if somebody is a no-show for the race that day, we do an all-call, and it's first come, first serve in chat for getting placed in the race, and then a race admin will put you in the race for that week. Now, if somebody drops out of the league entirely, we pick a reserve driver from the list in the order that they signed up, and they go into the series on a permanent basis. We're doing that for a couple of reasons. One, we want to try and offer people an opportunity to take a slot if one's available on the race day. Two, we want to make sure that people are, showing up to the races, participating in the events. We want to try and fill out the grid as much as we can. Oh, you can sign up on the site, !site, Blaine. In chat should get you the link. You go over there, punch in your own personal registration information, and you'll be registrant number 63 in the series. So, John Ezra in the Tritium Porsche, car 55 out on track. He's going to try pit entry. Pit entry is going to be really critical here. It is a tricky, it is a deceptive pit entry. Chocolate Slayer, how are you doing? Yes, Mr. Ezra did make it. He's rolling through the long pit road right now. Let's take a peek around on track. See if we can find anybody else out doing stuff. Brandon Meyer in the... Oh, wow. Camera's swapping pretty fast. Look at that. Crazy Rabbits Racing M4. Chemosith is rolling around in a very, very pretty car out on track. That one might be running... That one might be in the running for my favorite livery so far. I love the yellow to black gradient. It's pretty smooth. He's pulling off on track, waiting to try and find a safe place to rejoin. Well, we're in free practice. We got a little bit of time before it rolls forward. Yeah. He's been sweating all week. Curious to see how he does. Well, I mean, just keep your head down. Race safe, race clean. You'll make up positions on track just from the chaos, I'm sure. Gingy's right, Blaine. If you want to get some more people involved, all we need is what is that, 28, 27 more signups? And we can run a second split. Will Campbell in the Sky High Beaver Motorsport McLaren, car 364 out on track. Currently 22 on the board. In max wait time, flying laps count. I think a lot of folks are pulling off track, getting ready for that next session to fire. For the folks that are interested, the pit wall server should be live. ! Pit wall in chat. For the 949 GT Sprint Series Season 8, Round 1 Silverstone. We're in the practice session right now, but it's about to roll forward into qualifying here in a minute. Hope everybody's having a good night. I know I'm excited. Round 1 underway. Hope everybody has a good, clean race. Number 63, easy clap. What's up, Felix? How are you doing? It'll be a big arrive and drive for me, most likely. I don't have the capacity to practice much until my wrist is sorted. Hey, like I said, Blaine, if you end up getting in one of the wild card entries that happen, that'll be you can put me in AM. All right, let's hop out of here. All right, quali is underway right now. I believe they are doing the split now that the categories are set. So what is happening right now is the Division 4, Division 3 drivers are going to head out on track for the first half of qualifying to set a fast lap for their qualifying session, and then the Division 2, Division 1, the white panel drivers will, or the white placard on their racing number, those drivers will go out on track and try and set their fastest lap. To set the grid for the session. Vulcan, man, thank you for stopping by and chat, dude. Good luck with your race, man. Will Campbell in the Sky High Beaver Motorsport McLaren, which is also another one of the pretty liveries out on track. First of all, you don't see green on cars a lot in general. It looks like he is slotted in the draft behind Mr. Will Bruner. Take a quick stretch break. Cole Gress in the Adept Porsche 911. I actually thought Cole was running Tritium in the practice race. Looks like he is getting set up for Maggots and Beckett's in the 911. Made a foray into speedrunning. You know, Blaine, I used to live right down the road from where they do Awesome Games Done Quick. Looks like we got Josh McKean for ProtoCharge SimSport in the pits. Corey Appleby in the Tag Heuer Division 4 car 16 out on track. Has yet to set a time. Just looking around at the broadcast app. Looks like in terms of times, lots of people are probably getting an opportunity to start the first flyer. It's very important around here. It's a very long lap around Silverstone. You probably only get 2, maybe 3 times around before the session's over. Ken Smith, he's in the KB Silver 357 McLaren on track. 4 times if you do it all in one. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's tricky. Kyle Sisko in the top right corner of your screen in the turn 1 SimSport Lexus on track. Still waiting to see some people come across and set some times. Will Bruner, the Firelight Esports Mercedes AMG entry. Taking it through cops. So Brevin going to the top of the timesheets in Division 3 with a 2-minute .062. Will Campbell, 8/10 back. Brett Kolb, Kenny Smith are your top 4 so far. Gixxer coming in hot with the strategy. Aim for some spacing on track. It's pretty critical around here. James Brown, the Godfather of Soul, in the 36. Minute 59, 110, top of the timesheets right now. He's got about a second advantage on Brevin Yesk. And we do have 16 entries that have posted a time. This is our first season running big grid from start to finish. It's gonna be tricky. Running 50-car grids on some of these tracks. Wow, that is Jose Guzman in the RG Racing entry, taking it over the curb there. Daniel Reyes, he's in the BMW Motorsport M4, car 82 out on track. Currently 7.087 off the pace. I think it's mostly just because he's on an outlap. Sports line. Kyle Sisko slided into the draft. I believe that's one of the Tag Heuer Porsches in front of him. Currently 15th on the grid, 3.362 off the pace. 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in qualifying for the Division 3, Division 4 runners. Kenny Smith in the 357 Maka in Brooklands. Reyes is a new member of Crazy Rabbits Racing. Sounds good, man. Hope you guys get him slammed into one of those pretty yellow and black gradient M4s. Ken Smith comes across the line, punches in 5th fastest, 1.360 off the pace with a 2-minute .470. Vulcan Man, good luck with your race. Have fun, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Volkan Bakkerden, if you're interested in a positive ACC streamer, does a lot of low fuel and rapid drivers club. Be sure and check him out. Hit him with a follow. He's a good dude. Curtis Greco, car 15 in the Lexus. Currently 7th on the grid. Bang! What's up, doggo? So we got James Brown, Cody Grace, Brevin Yesk, and Chemo Sith are your top four. As we got 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in qualifying. Got the 404. I believe that is Mr. Justin Rowley in the 404 McLaren on track. Top right corner of your screen. Rowley Studios. Autopilot app is giving me fits right now. Let's go ahead and switch out. There's Will Bruner in the Firelight Esports AMG entry again. Currently 9th on the timesheets, 1.9 off the pace. The clock is ticking for the Division 3, Division 4 runners. So, Jixer, one of the things that might make it seem like it is earlier is we start free practice before the session starts. So, when I say before the session starts, the server launches with a 30-minute free practice at 6:30, if that makes sense. So, James Brown, 158.767 is the top of the timesheets. Justin Beachley puts the Beach GT Aston Martin 1 second off the pace. Time is ticking. Will Bruner, currently 10th fastest. Kind of curious where the AMG Evo can put him. There's Mr. Shane Martin in the 2Cs Motorsport McLaren entry. On board, Justin Moffitt. He's in the Team Parker Racing Bentley. Pulling it off track, going to the pits for a setup change, but I think he's probably out of time with getting out on track for another lap. Let's see if we can find somebody who's actually out on track, turning some laps right now. Justin Beachley in the Beach GT, that gold Aston Martin, currently second fastest on track with 36 seconds left on the clock. Currently his delta's even. I don't think he's going to be able to improve. James Brown, however, looks like he's set to extend. If I jump around and take a look, Mr. Brett Kolb's got 5 seconds, or 5 tenths in the Vodafone McLaren. Looks like he might have had a moment out on track. Oh no, I see. It's his delta's increasing. Shane Martin in the 2Cs Motorsports got 9 tenths. 9 tenths would probably punch him past Chemosith. See what he can do. Into Brooklands. Trying to get set up. So the Division 1, Division 2 drivers are going to be heading out on track right now to set their fastest lap. They get 10 minutes as well. Out of Woodcott. Shane Martin punches in 5th fastest. 2-minute point 060. Now let's take a look at some of our Division 1, Division 2 runners out on track. Mr. Brandon Meyer in the number 2 for turn 1 in A. He's in the switched from the AMG to the BMW M4 GT3.
I just got tingly.
Division 1, Division 2 drivers are on the outlap. Probably don't have any that have come across the line yet to start a flyer. Again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. You are watching round number 1 of the 949 GT Sprint Series, Season 8. Dealer's Choice. The choice was presented, and the choice was made. The drivers picked Silverstone. Mr. Tanner Rogers, thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate the support. Welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy the show. I mean, not sure if there's anything like a gentleman's agreement like in F1. That is a lot of cars. Holy cow. What's up, Elliot? How are you doing? All right, let me sit down. Let's get adjusted for some detailed analysis of what's going on here in Division 1, Division 2 as they are getting set for their qualifying lap out on track. Mr. Peter Greaves, homeschool racer on Twitch. He's on a flyer. Let's jump on board, finish out the lap with him. Around Silverstone. Headed down the Hanger Straight. So he's already basically through Sector 1 when he crosses this marker right here. Getting set up for Stowe Corner on the brakes. Long right-hander. It's going to drop downhill. He's already back on the power, which is good. You want to be on the throttle early out of Stowe Corner. Into the Vale chicane on the brakes. You want to try and straighten this out as much as you can. He's going to swing it out wide as he gets ready to go through Club Corner. Dodges the sausage curb on the right. Runs out far to the left. Down the F1 pit straight. And into Abbey. Quick right-hander. Shaving off a little bit of power. Want to get back on it as quick as possible. Into Village, which is effectively a hairpin. Followed by another hairpin at the loop. Now this one right here, it's all about a drag race when you come out of the corner into Antry. He didn't push it out as wide. Either his tires might not be up to temperature or he's just kind of like trying to get get some flex in them to try and get them up to temperature or get the pressures right. Into Brooklands now, long left-hander, and now the sweeping right at left field. Trying to balance the car as much as possible. Exiting wide. He's going to cut across to the right through Woodcott. And that is a lap, a 1:59.555, 7th fastest on the timesheets right now for Mr. Homeschool Racer on Twitch. Mr. Peter Greaves for ProtoCharge SimSport. Luciano Yads, Madhouse Academy. I believe he's in Division 2 this season, so we got some Madhouse representation in Division 1, Division 2. Exclamation point Mad in chat if you're looking for the Madhouse sim racing crew. The Crazy Canadians. Dan Tizarro. Tez, as we like to call him, in the 999 for Turn 1 NA. Headed down, hanger straight now, on approach to Stowe Corner. Going to try and improve his time. Currently 6 seconds back. It's very critical to get a fast one, or at least a banker lap, close to your representation time in terms of what you've been practicing. It's pretty critical right now. Provisional pole, Josh McKean with the 57.550. Felix Tavinsva Hacker for Madhouse with the 57.6. Matt Paremba for 949 with the 57.9. Luke Southall with the 57.967. Those are your times right now. Nick Gonzalez with ProtoCharge SimSport has 7/10 as he comes out of Woodcott. Jumps 3rd fastest, 3/10 back in the Bentley. Car 1 for ProtoCharge. Looking through the field right now, Matt Minning. The SGR Chum Motorsports entry. Heading into Brooklands and left field in the Aston Martin. Now, Mike Minning. I keep saying Matt Minning because I'm thinking like Matt Groening from The Simpsons. So again, Mike, super sorry that I keep messing that up, but Mike Minning comes across the line, slotting in 12th fastest. You said Vulcan's got some open track. Let's check in with Mr. Vulcan. Currently even on his Delta. That's going to be a cut. Luke Southall in the ProtoCharge SimSport Lexus entry. Now, that as a Lexus driver, that might end up being my favorite. It's just a cool color combination. The black, the gold, the blue. Currently right now, he's got 5/10 in the bank. So 5/10 would shove him up to provisional pole. We're going to see where Luke ends up. Kind of a wide exit out of love field, but I think that was legit. Comes across the line, jumps 2nd fastest. 100th of a second between him and his buddy Josh McKean. The ProtoCharge boys locking out the front row. But Felix, he's got a 10th already in the bank. Ed Kerstetter for 949. He's in the McLaren. Out on track. Comes across the line, slots in 8th, currently 6/10 back. And we got some competition out in this field. This is wild. Brandon Meyer for turn 1. What's up, Tanner? Lexus gang. Absolutely. I'm Team Lexus. Comes across the line. Brandon Meyer punches the M4 for turn 1 up into 13th. 1.3 off the pace with the 58.755. Looking through the field of front runners. The times are pretty close. Felix for Madhouse Racing in the 898. What's up, Cole Hawks? How are you doing? Through Village and the Loop. Critical that Felix nails his exits. Loses his delta. I don't think he's going to be able to recover it just down the Hamilton straight. Meanwhile, Volkan Bakkerden just now going into Village in the Loop Complex. In the Vulcan Sim Racing Community Porsche. Yep. Time is running out, though. 15 seconds. This is going to be Volkan's last shot at it. Just looking through the field right now, it looks like him, Sean Piner, Ed Kerstetter are the only ones in the top 10 with positive delta right now. Exiting out of Woodcott. Let's see what he can do. 3/10 in the bank. Goes third fastest. 0.06 of a second between the top three right now, folks. 0.06. We're talking big bucks, no whammies. Sean Piner for Crazy Rabbits Racing going sixth fastest. Matt Paremba's got 0.2 as he jumps out of left field. Comes across the line. Looks like he improves his time, but not his position. Just looking through the rest of the field now. Trying to see who's where. Zach Patterson looks like he's got some positive delta. Exiting entry down Hamilton Straight. Uncooked cabbage. The race to get the reserve spot was crazy. Yep. It's pretty crazy. It's gonna be wild. Now we got looks like 48 entries for the race. So we did have a couple of drivers no show. Zach Patterson comes across the line 16th fastest, 1.5 off the pace in the ProtoCharge SimSport Honda NSX. But Josh McKean looks like he is going to take that spot. Pole position, Josh McKean and a front row lockout for ProtoCharge SimSport. We are in max wait time. Let's jump over to the garage and hit that timetable up real quick. Actually, I'm going to hit the drive button. We're going to pull the timetable up here. Because then I don't have to worry about the not being in the drive camera. So let's get that set up for you guys. So yeah, 48 entries for round one of the 949 GT Sprint Series at Silverstone. Dealer's choice. The drivers picked. Round one's Silverstone. On pole position, Mr. Josh McKean for ProtoCharge SimSport in a front row lockout with his buddy Luke Southall. Luke Southall, Josh McKean, those two were fighting neck and neck pretty much all the way up to the last race of Season 7. We got a second row of kind of like mix-up between Vulcan Bakkerden and Felix Tavinsva Hacker, so a little bit of space between them and the next ProtoCharge SimSport entry of Nick Gonzalez in P5 in the Bentley, who's alongside Sean Piner for Crazy Rabbits Racing. He's in the Porsche. So that's your top six. Take a quick look at something else. What's up, Mossap? How are you doing? All right, let's take a look. All right, so let's hop out of this real quick. I've jumped back to the broadcast. Switch over to the front. We'll do a quick grid rundown. Again, ProtoCharge lockout, front row. Josh McKean, Luke Southall. We got an Aston Martin and a Lexus on the front row. Vulcan Bakkerden in the Porsche. Felix Tavinsva Hacker for Madhouse. He's in the M4. Nick Gonzalez in the Bentley for ProtoCharge SimSport. P5 alongside Sean Piner for Crazy Rabbits Racing. Matt Paremba for 949 Sim Racing in the M4, car 959, alongside Ed Kerstetter in the 28 Maka for 949. Chris McNickle for Scrubs Go Racing puts the Audi from Scrubs Go Racing ninth on the grid alongside Tez in the Turn 1 reaction phase M4. Mike Menning in the 918 for Chum Motorsport, 11th on the grid alongside James Brown. The Division 4 car, P12 on the grid. Got John Ezra with the Tritium Porsche, P13 alongside Brandon Meyer, number 2 for Turn 1 SimSport in the M4 as well. Homeschool Racer, he's in the 555 for ProtoCharge SimSport in the McLaren alongside Zach Patterson in the ProtoCharge Honda. Joseph Kostovich, car 240 for 949 in the Maka alongside Pete Hutchings in the ProtoCharge SimSport. That livery is pretty good, Hutch. I like it. Persona, it's good stuff. We got Gingy. He's in the Crazy Rabbits Racing Tigger entry, the 911, alongside Kevin Blanchett in the Sky High Beaver Lexus. Adam State for Scrubs Go Racing Ravens Reptiles in the Audi P21 alongside Luciano Yads for Madhouse Academy in the Aston Martin. We got the Beach GT entry, Aston Martin, Justin Beachley from Trackalicious Sim Racing, the Peanut Butter Milk Stout, alongside Cody Grace in the Adept Porsche 911. We've got Ken Smith in the 357 Maka. He's alongside Shane Martin. We got a lot of Makas in the field this season. Shane Martin in a Maka, number 10 for 2C's Motorsport. Brevin Yesk with the Arcane SimSport in the McLaren alongside JQ in the Lexus, car 21. Paula Brandy for Scrubs Go Racing. Paula Brady, car 48 in the Audi alongside Chris Pennycook from 949 in the Porsche 911. Sam Ramsbottom for Karimba Bimba Motorsport in the 14 P31 alongside Curtis Greco. And we've got Will Campbell in the 364 McLaren for Sky High alongside Chemo Sith for Crazy Rabbits in the M4. Will Bruners in the Firelight Esports AMG. And he's alongside Brad Sievers in the Joda McLaren. Brett Kolb in the Vodafone McLaren, P37 on the grid alongside Justin Moffitt, who normally races in Crazy Rabbits colors. He's the man that runs the show. For some reason, he's in the Team Parker Bentley, but he normally races the Bentley on the grid. We got Jose Guzman in the RG Racing NSX alongside Kyle Sisko in the 444 for Turn 1. Patty McNichol in the Scrubs Go Racing Ryder Weeb car. What a legend. Alongside Apache Racing in the 949 Sim Racing Lamborghini. We got Carlos Guzman in the Arcane Racing Honda alongside Tyler Guzlakis in the Tag Heuer Porsche entry. David Reyes, who I believe somebody mentioned he's going to be joining Crazy Rabbits Racing. He's in the M4. 45th on the grid alongside Corey Appleby in the Tag Heuer Porsche. Shane Rees in the 950 for 949 UK alongside Justin Rowley in the 404 for Rally Studios. And that is your 48 cars for round 8 of the 949 GT Sprint Series. Just in time, right? Just in time. Bet James Brown could say bye-bye to Division 4. What's up, Yuko? It is a big grid. Are you talking about me, Jixer? A pro comms guy? I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy who likes having fun. Blackfin. Mr. Carter, how are you doing? I don't think your rating drops in-game, Mossap. Your rating would drop in, I think, stuff like low fuel. But not directly in-game, if I remember correctly. So, my coffee's running out. Ruthless, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started.
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not
Spooky,
good.
how's it going, man?
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee, 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 coffee. Cappuccino. Java. Yes.
Josh McKean, Luke Southall, these two were duking it out in Division 1 all the way up to the last race of the season. Luke Southall taking the win, becoming the second two-time in the history of 949 GT Sprint Series.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Josh has really stepped up his game, though. He's really quick and putting it on pole here at Silverstone in the Aston Martin. I got to wonder, has he been putting in more time? Has he got a little extra something in store for Luke? Because the Lexus is supposed to be pretty quick around here in a straight line, so I'm kind of interested to see how this works out once they blast out of Woodcott and on approach to Abbey. That exit out of Abbey is going to be, out of Copse is going to be critical. That's the infamous Copse corner where Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton came together. And then they got a drag race down to the entry into Maggots and Beckett's. I'm telling you, the person who leads the corner into Maggots and Beckett's, that person's in a pretty good position to drive off into the sunset. We're going to have to wait and see how it works out, though. You missed the M&M hat? How's it going, Eric? All right, guys, we're going to go quiet on reading chat for a minute. I want to get this camera set up for you all as we get ready to go live. It's been a long break. We did the placement race. We did the qualifying session. We got 48 cars on grid for you. 4 divisions are about to go at it. 8 rounds of the 949 GT Sprint Series are about to begin. Dealer's choice. The drivers took a poll. They picked Silverstone. We're about to see how it works out for them. See if that choice was the right one. Rolling to the control line right now. Hour-long sprint race. Mandatory pit stop is in effect. We do have drive-through penalties already in the books for 999 and Car 36. I think people are going to take a look to see if they're genuinely out of place or not. Luke Southall does get the move done, though, into Copse corner, and now here we go. We are underway. Maggots and Beckett's all about being conservative on this opening lap. It is critical for you not to stuff it into another car or throw it off track. Luke Southall does get the move done, though, and here we go, folks. We are underway. We're doing a poll every week, Blaine, for the race. Every week, you get to pick from 1 of 3 tracks to set the grid for the next week. Into Club Corner now. Is the Lexus going to have that ability to throw itself into Abbey, get there quicker than that Aston Martin? I think so. Lining up on the outside as he goes into the left-hander. That's a good question, Blaine. I'm not entirely sure about that. I think it is the regular 50, but don't quote me on that. That is correct, Boss Pat. Yeah, it's tricky right now. It is really close between these two. Got some traffic behind. We're going to stay on board with the leaders for just a little bit longer before we switch it up. Let's take a look at it from Luke Southall's perspective as the fight is underway. Well, there you go. Uncooked sausage letting you know. Looks like the drivers are going to have to serve the drive-through penalties for being genuinely out of place. I already saw one driver dive to the pits. right now we're watching the fight for the lead. Luke Southall trying to pull a gap on his teammate Josh McKean. ProtoCharge SimSport front row lockout. Let's take a moment and look back through the field. We got a race between two Porsche mains. Only one of them's in an M4. And Felix on the inside gets the move done on Vulcan Bakkerden. Seeing some collision data in the highlights. But by and large, it seems pretty calm. We're having, that's right, Simple Zach, we're having a motor race. So Nick Gonzalez now closing in on Vulcan Bakkerden. Ooh, car 999 going into the start of the race too fast. Felix outbrakes himself into Village. Now he's on the defensive for the loop. Now here's the thing. His line is compromised out of entry. Vulcan, if he gets a good exit with some space, he's going to have a little bit more straight line speed. Under braking. Let's take a peek back in the field now. Brandon Meyer duking it out with Hutch. Turn 1 versus ProtoCharge SimSport. Looks like the Tritium Porsche behind Hutch right now in P14. Yep, Felix does have a little bit of pressure. He is holding the field up a little bit. 0.6 between him and Vulcan. Nick Gonzalez is like super close. Hutch goes wide on the exit of Cop's Corner. We'll bounce back to the field here. Sean Piner, Crazy Rabbits Racing. Vulcan falling back through the field. Wonder if there was contact. Don't see anything. Matt Paremba and Vulcan going side by side into Stowe Corner, but Matt Paremba's already got the inside line. He takes to the curb as quick as he can. From Ed Kerstetter's perspective, in the 949 McLaren, front row seats. Yeah, we don't manufacture lock the teams, Eric. Yeah, Silverstone and the Porsche, that is not a happy duo. James Brown still holding that drive-through penalty, car 36. Here we go down Hamilton Straight now. Looking at it from Felix's perspective, looks like he's got a little bit of breathing room right now. So let's jump back and take a look at it from Matt Paremba's perspective, because Matt Paremba and Vulcan are going at it. Meanwhile, Sean Piner's getting a little bit of a pass. He's getting some space. I don't know if he picked up damage. I didn't see any contact with car 54 in the data. Again, anybody that wants the access to the data right now, our live timing server is online. ! Pit wall. You can log in and check that out. There's both an anonymous and free account setting. Let's take a jump back now into the field a little bit further. Kevin Blanchette in the Sky High Beaver Motorsport Lexus. Gingy, currently 19th in the field. Trying to catch up to Mr. Blanchette a little bit. Homeschool Racer about 9/10 up the road from Mr. Blanchette. Ooh, we got some spicy action up in the top right corner of the screen. The Jota McLaren. Trying to see who that is. I believe that is the Jota McLaren and Luciano Yads. Or no, that's not the Jota McLaren. That's the Arcane Motorsport entry. Buff and Chemo are both in here tonight. Yep. Oh, man, there is a traffic jam going into Village in the Loop. That is Curtis Greco and Muff in the number 11. He's running the Team Parker Bentley colors in this race today, but normally runs the Crazy Rabbits colors in the Bentley. And here we go down the Hamilton Straight. Let's pop the main camera around. Take a look at some more of the action. Luke Southall still in the lead of this race. Josh McKean just sitting 4/10 back. Now, you'll notice in the top left corner of your screen an orange number 1 next to the driver placards. They have to make a mandatory pit stop. I believe the requirement is if you take fuel, there's a minimum fuel timer. I think it's 25 seconds. I do believe tires are optional. I'm going to pull up the information. Apologies, folks, for not having that already ready for you. Let me pull it up and so I can say the right thing. So for the sprint format, 60 minutes. Pits are open a minute and a half after the race start. 1 liter of fuel required. Fixed fueling. Tires optional. Tire sets are unlimited. Custom livery is not so much an issue. They made some changes for 1.8. You basically get like a real chunky load the first time the livery loads in, and it creates a DDS file, but then every time after that, it loads much faster. Sean Piner, Crazy Rabbits Racing, Matt Paremba, Vulcan Bakkerden. Mr. Kyle Sisko in the 444. He was in the top right corner of the screen. Now we're switched back over to this battle. Looks like Brandon Meyer, Pete Hutchings, and Joseph Kostovich, P11, 12, 13. John Ezra in the background in the Tritium Porsche. Looks like Brandon Meyer trying to chase down Zach Patterson, currently 7/10 back from the Season 6 champ for ProtoCharge SimSport in the Honda this season. Sean Piner comes across the line, sets a 58.340. Let's take a look at the data between Sean and the rest of the field. So 58.34. Matt Paremba is about 0.02 of a second slower. And Vulcan's about 0.2 back from that. So Vulcan's going to have a fight here in a little bit between him and Ed Kerstetter, because Ed Kerstedter's starting to pick up the pace, about 0.7 between him and Vulcan. Josh McKean's starting to lose a little bit of ground. Luke Southall dropped back about 0.5 now between them. Felix Tavinsva is about 3.7 seconds back from the leaders. Leaders right now running kind of in clear air with one another, and they are just pulling away. Nick Gonzalez about a 0.5 second back from Felix. Let's actually check in with Nick in the ProtoCharge Bentley. He's on track. Let's get that bonnet cam in the chunky boy. Vulcan Bakkerden on the gearbox of Matt Paremba in the 949 M4 as they head down Hamilton Straight. Does Vulcan have enough to throw it up the inside into Brooklands? Here he goes. Here's the move. Nope, just showing him the nose. Trying to give him the feeling of urgency. Trying to force a mistake. Same kind of thing Nick is doing right now with Felix. Good close fighting on track between these pairings. Oh, looks like we got a car off track at Village. That looks like that might have been Cole Hawks. Got the Dan Tazaro turn 1 M4. Ooh, Nick is having a moment through Maggots and Beckett's. He's going to have to slow his roll, get the car under control. Back into it with Vulcan Bockerden and Matt Poremba. Ed Kerstetter just looming in the background. Yeah, Josh did just punch in the fastest lap, currently closing that gap down to about 0.3. Wonder if the Lexus might start to struggle with tire wear. It is notorious for tire wear issues. "46 minutes, 55 seconds. Thank you all so much for joining us for round number 1 of the 949 GT Sprint Series. We're hanging out at Silverstone. This is the course the drivers picked. Let's look through the data a little bit and see if we've got another close fight on track. We do. Adam State, homeschool racer, going at it. Scrubs Go Racing and ProtoCharge duking it out. And then we got the Sky High Beaver Motorsports Lexus in the background. Nope, just me. In fact, we normally recommend that drivers don't load other team liveries, because if they don't have the DDS file generated from the livery PNGs, it might trigger a massive lag spike the first time that car joins with a livery. Traction control definitely goes up a click late in the race in the RCF. I never really have to adjust the traction control so much. I do have to adjust my braking a little bit. My braking bias has to go forward a little bit because I start to lock up the rears a lot, especially when they start to get worn. Ooh, is that Greco? Greco on the 43. I believe that is the depth entry. That's Cody Grease. Now, they've got some serious scuff marks on both of those cars. Cardo, there's no need to apologize. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. So the field seems a little frozen right now. I think it's going to come down to pit stops. Hutch and Coasty are duking it out. Chris is mad at somebody in Discord. That's unfortunate. Vulcan does have 2/10 up on his previous fast lap. I'm just looking through the deltas right now. I'm trying to find people that are really starting to punch in some fast laps. JQ's starting to punch in some fast. Actually, Shane Rees, who was next to last on track at the start of this race, currently up about 1.5 seconds on his fastest lap, chasing down his teammate, Chris Pennycook. Got 2 seconds between them right now. So Chris is looking like, or excuse me, Shane's looking like he's getting ready to punch in a quick one, which would put him probably about in the 59s, mid 59s. So definitely think this fight's going to start to pick up between the two teammates. Early pit stop for Brevin Yesk. Will Bruner in the Firelight Esports entry. And we got Chemo Sith on the inside. Well, now the outside getting set up for Maggots and Beckett's. Will's going to have to go on the defensive. Now that line through the corner threw Chemo out of place, so he's going to definitely lose some ground to Will. JQ, in the meantime, in the 21. He's in the Emil Frey Lexus entry. .42 minutes, 50 seconds left in the race. Now, these drivers are going to have to take a mandatory pit stop. 1 liter of fuel is required. Tires are optional. So if they want to take another 5 seconds on the track, They can take that tire change. Ooh. Looking right now. Brandon Meyer, Pete Hutchings, and there is the Bentley of Muff, Joseph Kostovich, closing in the background as they go into Brooklands and Luffield. The M4 for Brandon Meyer getting bent out of shape just a hair. Drive-through cleared for Nick Gonzalez. Dropped him down to what looks like 8th position. For Silverstone, I know him by heart. Yeah, we're going down Hanger Straight right now. Getting set up for Stowe Corner now. Is Hutch going to try and throw a dive late? He is showing him the nose, showing him he's there. Exiting out, headed towards the Vale chicane. On the brakes again. Hutch just kind of closing in a little bit on the M4. Now it's critical to get a good exit out of Club Corner. I think he might have just touched the curb, but not enough to unsettle the car. Now Hutch has a big moment on the exit of Abbey. Now I think Kostovich is going to try and creep up on him. So we started with 48, Tradian. I don't know if we have had any retirements yet. Let me take a look through the data. Does look like Sam Ramsbottom is in the pits, but I don't know if that's for an early stop. I mean, he is down 3 laps now. He might be out. Here, we'll switch away from this fight now. Luke Southall, Josh McKean. This battle's starting to pick up. Let's listen to the soundtrack. Let's listen to this soundtrack. Oh man, the Lexus. That note. I'd probably say the 720 right now. I think they brought the M4 in close enough to where the McLaren is probably the better all-around car. I think it's really close, but I would go McLaren over M4 personally. Oh, you're watching because of John Ezra in the Tritium Porsche? Excellent. Currently, Ezra's running 16th. Vulcan's taking the early pit stop. So Vulcan's going to cycle out into the middle of the field. Let's see where he ends up. Ooh. Cycled behind Nick Gonzalez with the drive-through. Now, Nick has to take a drive-through, but that's still pretty crazy. That's a good deal. I'm glad he got in here. You were searching for his stream too? So right now, the leaders are separated by about 0.3 of a second. We're going to keep our eye on this battle a little bit, folks, but I kind of want to jump around and make sure that we get some more of the other runners in the field. It does look like Felix is in this lap. Let's just jump over to the helicam. Felix is coming into the pits right now. Where is Vulcan, actually? So if we take a look at, not Vulcan, where is, so, sorry. There's so many names. It's so hard to find. Where is Vulcan? I don't see him on the list. Oh, there he is. Okay. Got the track map pulled up. Oh, we got a pile up, it looks like. Car 39. Oh, man. I don't know if that was an unsafe rejoin or what. Car 82, car 22. Lots of craziness happening in what looks like Abbey. Car 82's off track entirely. Car 357, 364, 38, 21, 22, 82, all kind of coming together. I think 82 might have just punched out. So Vulcan out on track. Looks like car 1's in the pits. I think he did get out in front of Felix. Car 36 is off track. Man, cars are just flying off track all over the place. Here, let's get the track map out of the way. Sorry, folks, I got disoriented with a little bit of chaos that was going on. Does look like car 82 back out on track. Hopefully he's not dealing with anything terminal. Back into this battle currently for P8. Brandon Meyer, Pete Hutchings, Joseph Kostovich. Closest battles on track. Ooh, Kosty, he's got the inside line into Brooklands, but Hutch has the inside line into Luffield. You just wish you had time like that? I hear you, man. Out of Woodcott now. So just looking through the data right now. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what happened with that massive accident in Abbey Corner. Here, we'll jump on board from Costy's perspective from the Dash Pro Cam of the 949 McLaren car 240, currently in 10th. Gingy diving in the pits from 16th. We're getting about that halfway point, folks. I'm ready to see these drivers start to pull these pit stops out. Indeed, man. Cardo is very serious. Exclamation point coach in chat, by the way. Cardo Huesca, the coach. You can check out CardoRacing.com. Exclamation point coach will dump you into the Cardo Racing Discord. He's a good dude. You should definitely go check him out. Peter Greaves, John Ezra going at it. Adam State has held off Homeschool Racer pretty handedly in the 31 for Scrubs Go Racing. What's up, Shy Guy? How's it going? Here, let me punch this in here too. Let's get the Discord link in there. There we go. I want to get that in there as well. So Peter Greaves has got a fight on his hands with Mr. John Ezra in the Tritium Porsche 911. Let's look through the field. Felix. Is Felix retired? I think Felix is retired. Oh man, that's a disaster. What happened? I'm trying to look through and see if I can figure out what happened. But Felix is out. Kyle Sisko, Corey Appleby going at it. Well, I say that actually. No, they're actually pretty far apart. It's just the delta on the broadcast app was lying to me. Shane Martin pitting from 20th. JQ, I think, was 22nd when he dove into the pits. We're going to jump back to this P8 battle because that's kind of like the closest thing we got going on. It's the spiciest thing we got access to. I'm not sure, Cardo. I saw Felix go into the pits and then he was gone. Like I don't know what happened. You love this game, don't hit you. We wouldn't hit you. Nate. Here's what we need to do, folks. Let's jump over into P8 right now. Get that camera 1 pulled up on that ProtoCharge Aston Martin piloted by Mr. Pete Hutchings, the Season 3 champ. It's a sim. Yeah, Hutch is a master at that stuff. Zach Patterson pitting from 10th in the 192 for ProtoCharge.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
I believe that is, let me look through the data. That looks like, I thought that was Gingy. Man, I can't tell, but it looks like either the data hasn't updated yet for Zach Patterson. There it goes. He's going to start falling down the order a little bit. It's going to update him. I'm kind of curious to see where he cycles out in relation. Will Campbell in the pits in the 364 McLaren. Looks like Matt Paremba did lose some ground to Ed Kerstetter, but he's heading to the pits right now. Let's see if he hits his marks on the brakes. Losing the back end a little bit. Choose your own racing number? Well, you can choose from whatever racing number is available. I can't remember how they're handling that. We just hit the halfway point as Matt comes to the pits. So Josh McKean in the pits right now as well. Whole bunch of people cycling in. Brandon Meyer's going to stay out, though. So we're going to roll with Brandon. Vulcan is flying currently 20th on the grid right now. Let's take a look at his last lap. Last lap from him was a 59.0. I think the traffic is kind of slowing him down a little bit. But he is running faster than Sean Piner, who's currently in P2, but has yet to stop. Josh McKean on his outlap now. We're just going to continue to look at the data while we're waiting for the rest of the pit stops to occur. Brad Sievers, Paula Brady, and Dan Tazaro look like they're all pitting in. Matt Paremba heading out on track. Luke Southall, race leader. Still waiting to see when he's going to dive into the pits. He's just now hitting left field. Question is, do you take tires in the Lexus? Here he goes, into the pits. It's time, folks. Let's punch that track map, hit Josh McKean, and figure out what happens next. 77's heading down the small straightaway into Abbey, the F1 pit straight. Which actually, I believe that's the Hamilton straight. I think Wellington is still Wellington, and the F1 straight is now the Hamilton straight, if I remember correctly. So as you can see in the top, or in the left side of the screen, the triangle for car 13 was 13, now it's car 3, which is actually at the start-finish line right now. That was the race leader that pitted. Into Brooklands and left field we go. So Luke is rolling now. So he is good to the regs on the pit stop. He's rolling down pit straight right now. Is he going to make it to the end of the corner or not before Josh gets there? We're about to find out. It does look like Luke made his way out. There he is in the distance, and Luke is going to hold the position. So Sean Piner heading out on track, cycling into some traffic. Sean Piner in the Crazy Rabbits Racing Porsche 911. Oh no, one of the 949 Porsches goes snapping off. I believe that was the exit of Maggots that caught him out. So Sean Piner cycles out behind Will Bruner by about 9/10. Will Bruner has moved up the field, but he still has yet to pit. Looking right now, so Vulcan did lose some spots in the pit stop battle, and he is currently 10th behind Ed Kerstetter and Matt Poremba. 30-second stop-go penalty for John Ezra for speeding in the pit lane. I think so too. Eric. I think the traffic slowed him down just enough. Adam State. He's going to stay out. Peter Greaves about 4 seconds back. Will Bruner, it looks like he might have let Sean go. Now, they're not in class together, but the overall is what determined points for the team championship, folks. So, historically, with the category racing, with the different categories on track, it's not necessarily, like, you don't necessarily want to fight people that are not in your classification, but with the team championship being based on the overall, that's a pretty big deal. Doggo hitting me with one viewer on the raid. Thank you so much, Doggo. Why are you out of the race, though? Like, what happened? So Brandon Meyer in the pits. Where is Brandon Meyer? Brandon Meyer, and then we've got Pete Hutchings. Joseph Kostovich did get out on track ahead of time. It does look like he is going to clear Brandon, who gets nailed with a stop-go 30 on corner exit. So stop-go 30 for John Ezra and a stop-go 30 for Brandon Meyer. And that is super unfortunate. 4-star General 22, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it, man. 1 minute of damage, man. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Very sorry to hear that. Into Stowe corner. Looks like Brandon's not going to get in the way. Oh, man, he is twitching. Is that cold tires? Cold tires on the M4, you think? Because, man, it looks like the balance on that car is just, he's fighting it. There he is again. Like, can't get the rear end planted. Front end's getting twitchy. And now he's got Pete Hutchings in the background. Let's actually switch over to that real quick. So this is Brandon Meyer and Pete Hutchings. Now Brandon Meyer has to serve a stop-go 30, which is going to just destroy his position right now. It's going to put him pretty far back. But hopefully he'll carry it to the end, because you get 10 points just for taking the checkered flag in the 949 GT Sprint Series. So every race finish counts. Oh, man, massive traffic jam into Brooklands. Matt Poremba, I think, got caught up in that. What happened there? Oh, man, what a moment. I think Matt must have some damage. I think Matt has to have some damage. That is huge. That is really huge. Matt Poremba in the pits. That is unfortunate, but let's take a look at Vulcan Bockerton, who is gaining on Ed Kerstetter. We got Paula Brady chasing down, I believe that is Curtis Greco or JQ. They run the same livery. I think that's JQ, actually. And Stephen Bateman about 6 seconds back from them. No, not 6 seconds back. He's actually he's further back. He's a lap car. Let's go to the rear cam between Ed Kerstetter and Vulcan Bockerton. So Ed's starting to pull a little bit of a gap now. It's grown to about a half second. Here goes Brandon Meyer, going to take that pit now for that stop-go 30. And that's going to promote Peter Hutchings up into 10th, I believe. Matt Menning currently 12 seconds back from Vulcan in 7th. In the SGR Chum Motorsports offering. So the stop-go would have been for a pit lane infraction, most likely, Yuko. That's either speeding in the pits or on entry or exit, one of the two. Checking back in with the race leader, Mr. Luke Southall, the two-time in the ProtoCharge SimSport Lexus. Now, Josh is in the background. We'll see if he can make up some ground, maybe take the fight to Luke. Will Campbell, Sky High Beaver Motorsports, chasing down the 2C Motorsport McLaren of Shane Martin. 3/10 between them. The 364 and the 10 duking it out. We do have some good fights all around track. Yeah, the 57 right now is pretty quick. 57.8 last lap. Take a fuel sample from Luke after. So what do you think would count as an illegal fuel additive in a sim game or in a sim racing title, Shy Guy? Stardust? Adderall? Oh man, William just caught out, had nowhere to go. But Shane actually had a pretty poor exit out of the loop. Special load cells, G Fuel. That's good stuff, guys. You're hilarious. All right, let's check through the field. Find another close fight. Man, they are sliding all over the place in those McLarens. Rear wheels look like they are hurt. Again, thank you all so much for joining us. You're watching 949, the GT Sprint Series Season 8, Round 1 at Silverstone. By the way, hang around after the stream. We're going to throw it over to Tracklicious Sim Racing. They've got the triple header at Suzuka in their GT4 Winter Championship. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of friends from the 949 community racing. So definitely check that out. Exclamation point TSR in chat if you're looking for the Tracklicious Sim Racing Discord. If you're interested in either their GT4 or GT3 Weekend League, And also, exclamation point Enduro in chat if you're interested in the 2.4 hour solo endurance series with Trackalicious Sim Racing and 949. Next race, I believe, is March 12th at Nürburgring. Should be a good one. All right, we've done a lot of watching of the race leader now. Let's check in with JQ. JQ's on track, duking it out with Shane Rees. Performance-enhancing drugs. Ooh, JQ has a moment. That's going to give Shane an opportunity. He's lining up on the inside. Are we going to have a Hamilton Verstappen into Cops? Actually, I think they're going into Abbey, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it's Abbey. Abbey corner into Village. Shane cleared him, moved up into 24th. (16 minutes, 15 seconds). Now, it looks like a majority of the field have already pulled the mandatory pit stop. So they should be good to the end of the race with 16 minutes left. It's 6:53 p.m. on track. 20 degrees is the track temperature, so it's pretty cool. That's what's allowing us to have some of these really fast lap times from the front runners. Nick Gonzalez moving through traffic right now. He's got one of the 949 Porsches behind him, and the ProtoCharge Aston Martin, his teammate, Pete Hutchings, about a second up the road. Ooh, what a move right there from Will Bruner, trying to cover off that McLaren into Stowe Corner. Muff just getting out of the way, letting these guys go. Cops are maggots and beckets. What's up, Does Caps Matter? How's it going? Luke Southall's pulling a gap now on Josh McKean. 2.35 between the two ProtoCharge SimSport entries at the front of the field. Here we go. Here we go. This is spicy. This is spicy. Where's he at? Where's Mr. Bruner? Bruner and Chemosith going at it. Firelight, Esports, and Crazy Rabbits going at it. Chemosith trying to cover him off, getting set up on the inside, going to squeeze him before they go into Brooklands. Now, Will's got the line now on the outside, but that's not really where you want to be. Oh, but both of them track it out wide, and that gives... Bruner got out of the dirt sooner on the inside into Woodcott. Man, we got a fight on our hands going into the first corner. Into Cops. Oh, Chemosith gives him space. Hard fighting. Good hard fighting between those two. Mad respect. Mad respect. But Will Bruner in the Firelight Esports entry does get around Chemosith. And they go into Maggots and Beckett's with the 98 car moving into P19. So into the top 20 for Will Bruner. Well, actually, he'll be upgraded to P18. And here comes Brandon Meyer in the Turn 1 M4 offering, trying to bust his way back up further past the top 20 on a recovery drive after a stop-go 30 for a pit lane infraction. Looking through the field again for the close stuff. Field's starting to stretch out just a little bit. By the way, folks, we do have the pit wall timing online, exclamation point pit wall in chat if you're looking for live timing. Chemosith's going to have a fight on his hands with Brandon Meyer. Brandon Meyer's pretty quick. Last lap for Brandon Meyer was a 59.5. Chemosith had a 2-minute 2. So Chemosith definitely a little bit quicker. Or not Chemosith, Brandon's a little bit quicker by about a half second. Tuning into the teammates now. Pete Hutchings in the ProtoCharge SimSport Aston Martin and Nick Gonzalez in the ProtoCharge SimSport Bentley. Duking it out as they head out of the loop down Antry and the Wellington Straight. Looks like the 404 McLaren just letting the lapped cars clear. Getting out of the way. Think John's going to catch Mr. Cole. That's a tricky time to run up against some blue flags, but they navigate it. Oh, man. Into Stowe. Nick's on the inside. Hutch is fighting him for it. Not giving it to him just because they're teammates. Into Vale. Hutch pushes it out just enough to hold the space. What a fight between these two. Let's go check out another fight. This one's pretty spicy. Let's look at Ed Kerstetter. There's Vulcan in the background. So with inside the last 10 minutes of this race, Luke Southall in the lead after 25 laps. Pretty much been in the lead from lights out. Josh McKean, 2.2 back. Sean Piner, Ed Kerstetter, Vulcan Bockerden are your top 5. So Sean Piner taking the Crazy Rabbits Porsche into the top 3 right now if he can hang on to this. Drive-through penalty with 10 minutes left for Mr. Shane Martin in the 2C Motorsport entry. Agree with that. 100% Cardo. Let's check out the Vulcan Sim Racing Community Porsche livery. Big fan of that design. Love the crazy asymmetrical pattern. Kind of gives me a feeling of the Dempsey Proton Porsche. DT for car 10. Yeah, Shane Martin. It's going to be a hard one to overcome. That's going to throw him outside of the top 20, easy. Might be out of the top 30. So these two are duking it out. Let's take a look through the field. Anybody else duking it out? So Brandon Meyer did get around Chemosith, and now he's trying to find his way around Will Bruner in the Firelight Esports entry. Seven minutes, 50 seconds left in this race. Thank you all so much again for joining us. You're watching the 949 GT Sprint Series Round 8, Silverstone. Or no, not Round 8, Season 8, Round 1, Silverstone. Once this race is over, the drivers are going to get a choice of of what's going to be the next track from three selections. And then that'll set the calendar entry for Round 2. into Stowe. Looks like Will Bruner's just not really going to fight it. We do not know what the options are, Blaine. You will not know until the race is over. And then there's the poll is open for 24 hours. And I think we've got a real good season in store. Take a look real quick. Here, I'll move my microphone forward a little bit so I can see the data a little bit better. It does look like we still have 43 cars on track of the 48, so it looks like we have had 5 retirements. So Brandon Meyer gets around Will Bruner, moves up into 17th. I think he's got a bit of he's got to make up 4.8 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds if he wants to catch Will Campbell. Vulcan, this one, folks, apologies for that. The 54 car, Vulcan Bockerden, does find his way around Ed Kerstetter in the 949 Maka. So Southall, McKean, Piner, Bockerden, Kerstetter, Menning, Patterson, Kostovich, Hutchings, and Gonzalez are your top 10. Getting close to that 5-minute mark now. It does look like Vulcan's starting to pull away. Wonder if Ed's fighting with some tire degradation. Ooh, here we go. We got another spicy fight starting to happen. Kostovich is catching Zach Patterson in the ProtoCharge Honda. A quick peek on Ezra. Let's go take a look. Where is Mr. Ezra at? After serving the stop-go penalty. So John Ezra in the Tritium Porsche still inside the top 30 after serving the stop-go. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Stop-go penalties are harsh, but man, if you can stay inside the top 30, that's a pretty big deal. Well, Zabzi, so you might not know this. Well, Blaine might know this, but Uncooked Cabbage might not know. But Zabzi races in ProtoCharge SimSport in the 949 GT Sprint Series, but actually races with Yaz Motorsports as part of the HPD esports program for SRO GT World Challenge. And he's actually going to be at Sebring doing, I think it's TCA in the Honda Civic, on the pit wall. Not racing, but on the pit wall doing Motec and race strategy with the HPD program at Sebring. In real life. And then he's also got another test, I think also with TCR in the HPD coming up later in the year. I don't have anywhere near a chance. Oh, against Zach is just tough, man, because he's got so much race knowledge and setup experience, just in ACC in general. Not even if you think about... Oh, Milo, thank you so much, man. 16 months, dude. We're doing great, dude. We got 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Luke and Josh look like it might be a ProtoCharge lockout on the front 2 spots. Right now we're watching the battle between Zach Patterson and Joseph Kostovich because that's one of the closest fights out on track right now. Also, Ed Kerstetter and Vulcan are going at it, so... Oh, when are we going to see him in 9.4? I think we're going to have to run races a little bit later, Shy Guy. I think that West Coast time is just a little too early of a start for Milo. Yeah, he just got home from work. So I think Zach is putting up a good defense against Coasty in the Maka. Quit your job and race 949 easy. Wow. No. He's got twins on the way, dude. Can't do that. Cannot do that. Do not listen to anybody in chat right now, Milo. He is racing in VR. That X-rated 949 late series where we can do some skin on skin. Sorry, my voice is starting to crack. That probably sounded terrible, and I probably should never do that again. So Zach is doing a really good job defending. Coasty's dropped back a little bit. I'm going to look and see if we can find a little... Oh, man. I spoke too soon about Brandon Meyer, man. He's a man on a mission in the Turn 1 M4. I think he might have just found his way around Will Campbell in the Sky High Motorsport. McLaren moving up into P16. Brandon Meyer moving through the field. Or as Cohawks would say, schmoving through the field. Okay. He'll just give you the nod and know what's up. That's it. That's it. All right, so let's jump in. Let's jump in. Vulcan and Ed are still going at it. Well, between the two twins, I hope it's within 24 hours or something. Something weird happened. One of the twins will just, like, hang out. Like, I'm not ready yet. It's okay. You guys go on. I don't mind being younger. It's comfortable in here. $11 months. Dude, twins after 11 months, man. If you pulled that off, it'd be like, what? That'd be wild, seriously. So I do believe Vulcan is holding off Ed pretty handedly. And we're going to the love field for, I believe, the last time. I think Luke Southall is about to take the win here. With a 3.3 second gap, Luke Southall, ProtoCharge SimSport, the two-time, taking the win at the 1 Hours of Silverstone. Congrats to Luke. Where's Josh at? Josh is going to be 3 seconds back. He's going to take second. These two are picking up right where they left off. ProtoCharge lockout in the front. No, it's almost like round 9 of last season. Sean Piner, though, folks. Sean Piner for Crazy Rabbits Racing punches in third in the Crazy Rabbits Porsche. Vulcan Bakerdin's going to come across the line in fourth. Ed Kerstetter in fifth for 949. We got Mike Minning in the Chum Motorsports Scrubs Go Racing entry. The 918 looks like he's going to slide in sixth place because he's got about 1.8 on Zach Patterson. Coming through Woodcott for the last time and going to take sixth place. Good race for Mike. And Zach Patterson's going to hang on to seventh. Joseph Kostovich just ran out of corners. And Joseph Kostovich is going to come across the line in eighth. Pete Hutchings in the 44 coming across the line in ninth. Nick Gonzalez in the number 1 for ProtoCharge in 10th. Got Kevin Blanchett, Peter Greaves. And that's Homeschool Racer on Twitch. And just waiting for Gingy to come across the line in what I will believe is 13th. Brevin Yesk, Brandon Meyer for turn 1. Will Campbell, Sky High Motorsports. Will Bruner with Firelight. And Luciano Yads, that's your top 18. Chemo Sith with Crazy Rabbits Racing. He's going to come across the line in 19th. I think he's going to come across. There he is. Okay. So he's coming across the line in 19th. And we're going to go ahead and jump over into the timesheet in the garage and take a look at the rest of the entries. So, Chemo Sith coming across the line 19th. Chris McNickle for Scrubs Go Racing in 20th. So, we got Scrubs Go Racing in 20th and 21st. Chris McNickle, Adam State. Oh, actually 22nd. Paula Brady in 22nd. Dan Tazaro for turn 1, 23rd. Shane Reeves for 949 in 24th. Tyler Kozlakis in 25th. Let's pull up the rest of the entries here. Oh, it's already. Let's switch back over to return to garage and get the timetable pulled up. You actually get pit wall turned off, so if people want to look at the data before the session rolls over. Starting from 26 now, we got Kozlakis, Shane Martin in 27th, John Ezra in the Tritium, he's in 28th. We got Cody Grease with Adept, 29th. Kenny Smith in the 357, he's 30th. Matt Paremba for 949, salvaging a 31st finish after having to take, I believe, 2 pit stops in the race. JQ in 32nd, Patty McNickle in the Ryder, punching in P33. Carlos Guzman with Arcane in 34th. Brett Kolb with Vodafone, 35th. James Brown had a really good qualifying, man, but could only punch in 36th for the race. Let's go ahead and switch back over to the race. I think we've already lost it, so we're going to bounce out of here. Go ahead and do that real quick. Highlights. We'll let that run in the background while we talk about the finishing results for the remainder of the field.
How did your brain even learn?
Looks like we did
speech?
end up with
I'm just so
41
curious.
folks taking the checkered flag at the end of the race. Actually, these orders are way off. I don't know if there's something up with my data, but I'm going to continue down the list anyway. We'll pretend like this is the finishing order. I believe that's Corey Appleby and the Tag Heuer coming across 34th in front of Justin Beachley. Then Kyle Cisco, Chris Pennycook, Jose Guzman, Justin Rowley in the 404, and then Justin Moffitt and Brad Sievers rounding out the order for round number 1 of the 949 GT Sprint Series at Silverstone. We'll pop that out of the way real quick. Get this pulled up. Leave that going here. I wonder, I can try and see if I can get some of the guys in for an interview if they want. Let me, because we didn't actually, I just realized we didn't actually plan this. All right, I'll leave that going. What a race, man. What a race. Gingy Raiden with the party 6. Thank you all so much for joining us. Good race, Gingy. I hope it was fun. Let's take a look real quick. By the way, folks, hang out a little bit. Oh, thanks, Shy Guy. Thanks for the kind words. We're going to hang out here a little bit longer, see if we can get these guys in here for an interview, because we still got some time before the Trackalicious stream goes live. But yeah, thank you all so much for the kind words on the stream. Appreciate it. Buff, that was a tough race, man. Would have been so much better in the right car. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Did it not get, was there an accident and they put you in the Bentley and you should have been in the M4? If so, man, I'm sorry about that. But good on you for sticking with it, seriously. Thanks for the follow, Spooky. Appreciate it. Not trying to miss anybody in chat right now. Just trying to get everything set up to see if we can get some of these guys in here for an interview, because that would be nice. Not sure, though. They're going to jump in here. What I'll do, I see... well, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk with Mr. Luke Southall, the race winner. go over to the interviews. Mr. Luke Southall, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good.
Well, congratulations are in order, man. Round 1 is in the books, and you're taking that ProtoCharge Lexus. You're taking it places. How's that car feel underneath you?
Feels pretty good, except for when it bottoms out, and then it's a disaster. That nearly killed me at one point in the race. So, but other than that, I mean, it feels pretty good. It's not great in the corners, but it's so good down the straights. It's pretty nice coming from the Ferrari, which was so slow on the straight under acceleration. So,
indeed,
definitely helps in balance.
Indeed. So with round 1 in the books, man, it looks like you've really been putting the time in that car. In terms of where your head is at, coming off of the 2-time championship for season 7, how are you feeling right now for season 8? Do you feel like you're driving better than you ever have?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think you always have to be improving, though, because other people are going to improve as well. So if you want to stay near the top, you got to keep getting better.
Indeed. So with that in mind, like when you guys go into planning for the vote for round number 2, is there a little bit of wheeling and dealing in the ProtoCharge crew to try and pick a car to maybe help someone out, or are people going to be like, you know what, Luke's in the Lexus, what's good for that? Are you going to be trying to do some wheeling and dealing? What's going to happen there?
I think everyone's just going to vote for whatever track's good for their car, to be honest. I think we're just going to look out for ourselves in terms of the voting, I'd imagine. So good deal. Because I was kind of curious to see how many, if there was going to be anything like voting blocks start to pop up. But at the same time, with some of the folks that have made car selections inside the ProtoCharge SimSport crew, I could definitely see a number of them voting for tracks that don't necessarily benefit you a whole lot. But we'll have to wait and see. And the voting will go live, folks. After this race, it'll be open for 24 hours, 3 tracks. But anyway, with the race strategy, did you feel like at any point in time that Josh was really a threat? Yeah, the whole first half of the race when he was like 2/10 behind me.
See, I couldn't tell if you were just like managing pace, like trying to hold him back, but at the same time too not max out your tires. But it did seem like you had plenty of pace in hand. I definitely got to say, man, congratulations, good start to the season for you, and really looking forward to seeing what you can do in round number 2.
Yeah.
All right, man. You have a good night, and yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, let's see if we can get... Who else do we have here? Do we have Ryan? Or not? He's under Ryan Gerald McIntosh, but it's let's see here. Did you pop in? I think I see you in here. Okay. Josh, how's it going, man?
I'm in here. Good. How are you, Phil?
Doing pretty good, man. How was that race? I know that was tough. I know Luke had some good pace in hand, but it did seem like you are kind of coming back in this season with the same kind of pace that you had last season. How did the car feel underneath you?
I think in the first half I was quicker than him, being in the slipstream, but the Lexus is just so quick in a straight line. I couldn't get anywhere near him. There was I had an opportunity lap 3 or 4, and I knew that might be my last one. So, I tried it. It didn't work out. But after the pit stops, there was we were sort of separated by 2-3 seconds, and the gap kept fluctuating just because of traffic. There was a lot of traffic.
Yeah. Both
me and him were slow on one lap and then slow on another, and so it was kind of impossible at that point for me to really do anything. It was all...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
It was all sort of like in the hands of the traffic, whether we gained or not, because we seemed pretty similar pace.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like you were holding pretty close to him. It did seem like the gap opened up a little bit, and I think traffic was a factor. You mentioned traffic, so I kind of want to get your take on it, especially being in the top 3 of round number 1. With the big grid setup and the traffic on track, how do you feel about this season? Do you think it's going to be pretty tricky, or is this kind of like, or is the big grid kind of like what you like in racing like this?
I mean, it makes it interesting. I mean, I can say one thing and say I don't like it if I'm the one getting held up, but then if I'm in second and some guy holds Luke up 3 seconds and I catch up to them, I'm not complaining. So, but I mean, given this is Silverstone, and the traffic was pretty bad here, I think that's a bit of foreshadowing if we go to tracks like Zolder, Alton, maybe.
Yeah, the smaller tracks. Yeah. The smaller tracks, the British GT tracks, even some of the intercontinental circuits. Like, I even think Suzuka, even being as long as it is, I feel like traffic with 50 cars at a track like Suzuka is going to be really tricky to overcome. But that said, man, I mean, you finished like I think you were within 4 seconds by the end of the race, or at least close to 3 seconds to Luke by the end of the race. So it seems like on pace reference, you guys are really pretty similar. So how are you feeling going into the rest of the season? You think there are going to be some tracks where you're definitely going to be able to take the fight to Luke? Kind of like, where's your head at right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting just because the strengths of the two cars are, I mean, where one car is strong is so different from where the other one was. It was even so obvious to see here that Lexus is really good in a straight line. It struggles a bit under braking and low speed. That's where I was gaining on him around here. And so, I mean, I think around shorter, bumpier tracks, I'll have a bit of an upper hand. I was quite surprised that I was able to match him around here, given it's quite a quick circuit. And in general, Luke's pretty good at circuits like this. So, I don't know. I've not done much driving around other circuits in the car. So I'll have to see.
Well, I feel like you can definitely take to heart that you had a good showing in round number 1. Maintaining that points gap between you and Luke is going to be critical, I think, for this season. And we'll see how you get on in round number 2. Good luck. And P2 finish is not bad. You guys are basically picking up where you left off. Congratulations, and looking forward to seeing you in round number 2.
Right. Thanks, Phil.
See ya. All right, let's get the man who punched in third. Sean.
Yo, what's good?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Wasn't the worst race of my life, so I'm feeling all right.
Yeah, so getting the Crazy Rabbits Racing Porsche up into third, round number 1, that's got to feel pretty good.
It does feel really good. Qualifying didn't feel good, so it's good to be able to pull a podium out of that, get some luck on my side, and I think some of it was bad luck in regards to other people that allowed me to get up there on the podium.
Indeed. So with where you finished, so quali didn't work out the way you planned. You did pull out a podium finish in the car. You got to be feeling really good this season with where your pace is at in relation to the field. Like, do you feel like that, like hitting that high up the order this early, do you feel like it was a fluke? Do you feel like your pace is really going to match people inside the top 3, top 5? Where's your head at on that?
I think it really just depends on the track. I think I was working with my buddy John Ezra a lot on the setup, and we really, really nailed the setup. And in practices in quali trim, I was nailing low 57. So that's where I was hoping to. That's what I was hoping to drive in quali, 57.1, 57.2, but didn't work out. But so yeah, I mean, if I can repeat, that level of pace, quali wise, and then try to keep a solid race pace. I mean, yeah, I'd feel pretty good. I honestly don't think that I'm really ready yet to go toe to toe with Paul, or I mean, Josh is so sick. There's just so many good people in Div 1. It's hard to say that I feel like I'm gonna win or do well, because it's just every round's kind of a toss up.
Well, the thing I'll say, man, you took the Porsche at Silverstone and podiumed it against a field that had, folks from ProtoCharge, folks from 949, folks from Turn 1, really fast racers up and down the grid from multiple teams, and you put the Porsche inside the top 3. You got to feel pretty good about that. So while you're saying, it was the setup, I don't know. Like, that's a pretty good reference to start from. So I think keep your head up, keep your nose to the grindstone, because weird things happen in 949. We've had We've had championships get decided by somebody winning the last race and that being their only win of the season. So just keep that in mind. So, but yeah, definitely good pace, good. It looked like the car definitely was like solid underneath. It was really interesting to see. You got to be happy with that result. I'm sure Muff's got to be happy with that result. With you and the Crazy Rabbits crew, how are you guys feeling going into the big grid season? Is this kind of something that's exciting the whole Crazy Rabbits crew, or are there some that are like really big in big grid but would like the smaller grid to avoid the traffic stuff? What's the feeling on the big grid setup?
Yeah, I think we definitely liked the two splits. I will say I really do enjoy getting to race like in the same lobby as my teammates, and just as getting to race in the same lobby as everybody in 949. So I think that there's some pros and cons. This race, the traffic, like everybody for the most part was extremely respectful. Some people were honestly even too respectful and were like, I was 8/10 behind them. They're at the end of the straight and they're like pulling off the side to let me by. And I'm deeply appreciative, something like that. But like I said, even almost too respectful, I didn't need to do that. So, I mean, so long as there's no adverse incidents or anything like that, I think that, we in general are fine with the big grid, but there's pros and cons.
Indeed. And the dealer's choice mechanic, what do you think of that for this season?
I think it's pretty cool. I like that you guys you love to switch things up. Like we had a whole night season, and I'll be honest, going into that, I was like, oh god, night season, and it just because I was scared of racing at night, but it was so good at putting me out of my comfort zone, and now I just I'm not scared whatsoever at racing in the dark. And this is okay, well, I don't have as much time to prepare. I can't prepare for the last race because I don't know where it's going to be. So it's a cool level of pressure. And I really appreciate you guys trying to mix things up. And yeah, I'm down for dealer's choice. This is going to be a fun season.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to you. A podium, your first race. You got to be happy with that result, man. Take that, move into round 2. Really looking forward to seeing what you can do in that car, man. Again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Phil, man. Thank you for everything you do.
All right. Appreciate it, man. See you.
Take it easy.
All right, folks. Let's get switched over to the talk cam. So we're hanging out. Trackalicious is already live. We're getting ready to send you guys over there for their GT4 triple header at Suzuka. Vulcan, McFurian. I think this is the first time I've seen you in chat, or at least seen you talk in chat. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. All the kind words. Thank you guys so much. Congrats, Gingy, on the race. Again, Muff, I'm sorry about the car mix-up, dude. Thank you so much for sticking with it. Having the extra car on the grid really does matter. I know that sucked, but hopefully we can get. We're going to work on it and get it right for you next round. Really appreciate it. Vulcan, man, good race, dude. I know that was tough. I know the Porsche at Silverstone's got to be tough. Just looking back through chat. Thank you guys so much for the kind words. Let's get you guys set up for a raid on Trackalicious. They're getting ready for the triple header. Got a bunch of friends from 949 Racing over there. Go check them out. They're a lot of fun to watch. ! TSR if you're looking for their Discord. ! Enduro if you want to participate in the Trackalicious 949 2.4 hour Winter Endurance Championship. It's going to be a pretty awesome show. March 12th at Nürburgring. But anyway, we're going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out again. Can't thank you guys enough. Cannot thank the people who participated enough and the people who watched enough. You guys are awesome. We really appreciate the support. We're going to get out of here. Again, go say hi to Trackalicious. They're a bunch of awesome dudes. Let's actually get that set up right now. All right, we're getting geared up to head on over there. Say hello from 949, and until next week when we find out what round 2 is of Season 8 Dealer's Choice of the 949 GT Sprint Series, stay safe, stay healthy, be sure and leave space for one another, and we'll catch you all next week. See you later.